Imagine a crime so meticulously planned and executed that it leaves no trace, no evidence, no suspects. A murder that remains unsolved forever, a perfect crime. Welcome to the world of fiction, to a realm where we can explore the darkest corners of the human mind without crossing any real-world boundaries. Picture a character, a mastermind weaving a web of deception so intricate that even the sharpest detectives are left baffled. We are talking about the perfect crime, an idea that has captivated storytellers and audiences for generations. But remember, this is all hypothetical, a mere exercise in storytelling. We aren't condoning or promoting any unlawful activities, but rather exploring the depths of human ingenuity and cunning when it comes to one of the most heinous acts a person can commit. The perfect crime starts with meticulous planning. Our character would spend countless hours, days, even months, mapping out every detail of their nefarious plan. They consider every possible outcome, every potential hiccup. They leave no stone unturned, no loose ends. This isn't just a crime, it's a work of art, a masterpiece of malevolent design. This planning isn't limited to just the act itself. No, it encompasses everything from the selection of the victim to the establishment of an ironclad alibi. It's a comprehensive strategy that covers all bases, ensuring that when the deed is done, our character is as far away from suspicion as possible. Understanding forensic science plays a crucial role in their plan. They know how to avoid leaving behind DNA, fingerprints, or any other trace evidence. They're aware of the latest investigative techniques and technologies, and they plan accordingly to stay one step ahead. In the world of crime, knowledge is power, and our character wields this power with surgical precision. They choose a method of murder that's difficult to trace, use unregistered or stolen weapons, or employ means that leave minimal evidence. But it's not just about execution. It's also about what happens after. The character might alter the crime scene to mislead investigators, possibly staging it to look like an accident or a suicide. Now, let's delve into the mind of our hypothetical criminal and see how they might plan such a crime. An alibi, our character's secret shield. A well-crafted alibi can be the difference between suspicion and freedom. This is the art of the alibi, an essential part of any intricate crime plot. Our character understands this well. They know that to be at the scene of the crime, yet not to be seen, is a delicate dance of deception. They carefully orchestrate their day, ensuring they are present in a different location at the crucial time. Maybe they are at a crowded cafe, engaging in casual conversation with the barista. Or perhaps they're attending a public event, their face captured by multiple cameras. Every move is calculated. Every interaction is a piece of the alibi puzzle. They leave a trail of breadcrumbs that leads away from the crime scene and towards their innocence. It's a game of chess, and they are always 2 steps ahead. With an ironclad alibi in place, our character moves on to the next step. Our character knows their enemy. They understand that the smallest trace of evidence can lead to their downfall. In the world of crime, knowledge is power, and in this case, the knowledge of forensic science is their strongest weapon. Forensic science, the application of scientific principles to law enforcement, is a formidable foe to any criminal. It can expose the tiniest fragments of evidence, a single strand of hair, a partial fingerprint, a microscopic drop of blood, and each one can be a damning piece of the puzzle leading to the perpetrator. Our character, however, is no ordinary criminal. They have a deep understanding of forensic science. They know that DNA can be lifted from a strand of hair, fingerprints from a glass of water, footprints from a patch of dirt, and they take meticulous care to avoid leaving these traces behind. They wear gloves to avoid fingerprints, cover their hair to prevent DNA evidence, and are careful not to leave footprints that could link them to the crime scene. But avoiding leaving traces is only half the battle. The character also uses untraceable methods to commit the murder. They avoid common murder weapons that could be traced back to them. Instead, they opt for tools that are difficult to link to a specific individual. They use unregistered weapons, stolen perhaps, or employ methods that leave minimal physical evidence. They might even use poison, which, if chosen carefully, can be almost impossible to detect. They are careful, too, about the time and place of the murder. They choose a location that is isolated, one where they are unlikely to be seen or heard, and they strike at a time when the victim is alone. reducing the risk of witnesses. In this game of cat and mouse, our character is always one step ahead. They plan, they prepare, and they execute with precision. The crime is executed flawlessly, leaving no trace, no evidence. But the job is far from over. Now comes the art of misdirection. Our character knows that a well-placed red herring can lead investigators down the wrong path. In the world of crime, manipulation is a tool as potent as the sharpest knife. It's about painting a picture so convincing, investigators don't even think to question its authenticity. Our character, a master manipulator, knows this all too well. They might alter the crime scene, perhaps staging it to look like an accident or a suicide. Every item is strategically placed, every sign of struggle meticulously arranged. A broken window here, an overturned chair there, all designed to tell a fabricated story that diverts attention away from them. But manipulation doesn't stop at the physical. In the digital age, a character's online presence can be their undoing. Our character, however, uses this to their advantage. They manage their digital footprint with the precision of a tightrope walker. Their online activity at the time of the crime, a stream of posts and messages, all time-stamped and geotagged miles away from the scene. Their phone records, clean, with not a single call or message that could link them to the crime. But what about surveillance cameras, you may ask? Well, our character is always one step ahead. They know the locations of every CCTV camera on their route and carefully plan their movements to steer clear. If they must pass a camera, they ensure they're just another face in the crowd, completely unremarkable. And then, there's the art of misdirection. The character plants false clues, creating a trail that leads investigators on a wild goose chase. A strand of hair from a wig, a fingerprint from a stolen glove, all leading to dead ends. As investigators scramble to piece together this complex puzzle, our character sits back, watching the chaos unfold from a safe distance. They've set the stage, and the investigators are none the wiser, following a path carefully orchestrated to lead them astray. With investigators chasing shadows, our character moves on to the final stages of their plan. In an imperfect system, there will always be cracks to slip through. Our character knows this all too well. They've studied the investigative process, understanding its limitations, its bottlenecks, its bureaucratic inefficiencies. They know that police resources are often overstretched, that corners may be cut, that sometimes a case is just a file to be closed as quickly as possible. They know how to exploit these flaws, how to create just enough doubt, how to muddy the waters of an already murky investigation. It's a dangerous game of cat and mouse, but they play it with the confidence of someone who knows they're always one step ahead. But exploiting flaws is only half of the equation. The other half is ensuring that there's nothing left for the investigators to find. Our character is meticulous in their disposal of evidence. Every tool, every piece of clothing, every scrap of potential DNA, all are dealt with in a manner that makes them utterly unrecoverable. They might use fire, corrosive chemicals, or even the vast, unforgiving ocean. Whatever it takes to ensure that no trace of their crime remains. They leave no stone unturned, no loose ends. Every potential lead is carefully considered and dealt with. It's a laborious process, but one they know is necessary. Because in the world of crime and punishment, it's often the smallest overlooked detail that leads to the downfall of the guilty. The evidence is gone, the trail is cold, but there's one more step to ensure their freedom. In the end, it all comes down to perception. If our character can convince the world they're innocent, then innocent they shall be. To accomplish this, our character employs psychological manipulation, a powerful tool used both to sway perceptions and control narratives. This isn't about brute force or physical prowess. It's about the mind, about understanding human behavior and exploiting it for their advantage. Our character might plant seeds of doubt, subtly suggesting alternative scenarios or suspects. They may feign shock, grief, or confusion, emotions that would be expected from an innocent party. They might even take an active role in the investigation, offering to help in any way they can, thereby gaining access to information and the ability to influence the direction of the inquiry. In tandem with manipulation is isolation. Our character ensures there's no apparent connection or motive linking them to the victim. They might be a stranger, a face in the crowd, or an acquaintance with no apparent reason to wish harm upon the victim. They've woven a narrative where they are the least likely suspect, and in doing so, they divert attention away from themselves. This isolation also extends to their personal life. They maintain a low profile, avoiding any behavior that might raise eyebrows or draw attention. They blend in, becoming just another face in the crowd. And with that, our character fades into obscurity, leaving behind an unsolved mystery.